Hey guys, what's up? I'm really excited. This is a passion project. This is the very first Rayman as a framed artwork.
ClayClaim.
This is Rayman. This is another framed artwork I was really looking forward to create. And this is also another collaboration with GTV. So if you want to watch this video in the extended version with my German voiceover, you can do this now and switch over to GTV. I'll link it right here. Now, let's talk about this game. This is the very first Rayman and also one of the very first games which I ever played on a PC. And I knew that one day I would create framed artwork from the very first level, which is somehow this. And I made some screenshots and decided to create this scenery. We have the whole scenery framed in a way. On the lower bottom we have the water, this muddy clay for all the different levels where Rayman is about to run and jump on. You get it? Jump and run. And the lianas which are hanging from the top. And of course we will create some of the characters. We have Rayman, we have a fish, we have some of these goblins. Are these goblins? And some beautiful flowers, background details, all that kind of stuff, all made with clay. Before we jump in and before we only talk about this creation, I owe you a big thank you. Last week's video was deleted. It was a sponsored video with a mobile game company, and when I saw the final video, when I saw myself talking this scripted part where I was saying stuff I would normally not say, it just didn't feel right. I decided to delete it, although I had put in so much work, although I put in so much heart into this project, and although I would have gotten a lot of money for this project, but it just didn't feel right. And the moment when I decided, I posted, I told you, I did this YouTube and Instagram post and also on Twitter. And the support which I got, the messages which I got from you really helped me. It was very difficult for me. It was a difficult decision. And you supported me so much. You would not believe how much this meant to me when you let me know that this is why you subscribe to the channel. And yeah, I just wanted to thank you. You helped me a lot. You will see some parts of this video because I will make a funny video around this whole topic about doing sponsorships just for the money. Don't get me wrong, I will do sponsorships, but I promise that all these sponsorships which I will do in the future are games or products which I believe in. And I don't judge if anyone is doing different, if any other YouTuber is doing just the stuff for the money. I really get it. You just want to keep the show running, and in the end, the community can also benefit from a bad sponsorship because the money can put to work to buy equipment and all this kind of stuff. So thank you all again for your support. I could not put it into words how much this meant to me, especially on last Friday when I did this posting. Thank you guys. Now, meanwhile, we've been really busy. We've been really crazy with the clay, and we added some beautiful details. We added the grass. We added these beautiful plant. What's its name? It's fern, right? Then we have these tiny mushrooms, and they are all animated. When you have played the very first Rayman, You probably also remember all these beautiful details, this vivid environment. These mushrooms, for example, we have 4 of them on top over each other. They are running around, jumping on each other's heads, and it's just lovely to watch. Now let's mix this bright ochre by using ochre and some white to create these beautiful lianas with their purple and pink leaves, which are really characteristic to Rayman. Over the years there have been some different titles of Rayman. I personally have played a lot the one on the N64. I can't actually remember the name of the game right now, but it was a great 3D title for the N64, where 3D games were not that common. Give me a sec, I'll look it up. Rayman N64, and it was Rayman 2. It was just called Rayman 2, The Great Escape. Yeah, this was the one I have played. Very different from the 2D title, the jump and run version, where we are creating this beautiful scenery out of. Now let's take the purple, let's throw in some, what is this, bright pink? Maybe, to create these leaves, these beautiful leaves. Maybe we can add this crack right in the middle, because this is characteristic to a leaf. And then we can start working on all these leaves. It's a lot of work. This is bright pink. And what's this color called? Maybe it's bright rose, something like that. So the leaf looks beautiful, and we can go crazy by adding some more of them. And I don't think they are not moving in the game, but we have this parallax effect with the background, which is moving. We have some more tiny green plants, and this is what made my heart melt when I spent some time watching on the different details, when I discovered some more details. We have these stones which are in the water, and this is really typical to the 90s game design. They just used one texture for one stone, and it was repeated all over. And I tried to do this as well with clay. This is why all the stones look pretty similar. This is Windsor blue. It's a very dark and rich blue, and we throw in some bright blue as well. You could also throw in some white, for example. And what we try to do here is, after or while oven hardening, I try to fill in a lot of liquid clay for the transparent effect of the water. So I make sure to fill in each and every gap. And whoops, I forgot this beautiful flower right next to the mushrooms. And I'm using a very thin wire for that, sticking it into the clay. And these will be the leaves for the beautiful flower, which is also dancing all the time. When you have played the game, you know what I mean about this vivid environment. Now we can put it up. Happily, we have a stand on the back side of this frame, or this thing. This is the liquid clay for the water, and we will fill in a lot. And then, when you have watched my Instagram story, you know that putting it into the oven may be a problem. Freshly baked environment. This sounds so nice. We will remove the frame we made out of clay around this liquid clay, so that we only see the liquid clay, and we add some transparent polish for that to that it really looks like water. And then we have some further pieces, and I decided to draw in some shadows with gray, and later we will also use a white pen for some beautiful highlights. Oops. this leaf. I broke off this leaf. Now let's also add some shadows down there under the grass. This is the white pen, and I'm just using my finger for these highlight effects where the light is hitting the scenery, and it is really useful if you think about lightning for a minute, when you think about from which direction the sun would point into this scenery, so that you know where to put the highlights and where to put the shadow. Now, this is a real characteristic color and we use it for Rayman. Those of you who have watched the 1000 subscriber special on my channel, yeah, it's been a while, know that I already have created Rayman many years ago, and I decided, well, when you create Rayman you have this big problem. You have feet but no legs, you have hands but no arms. How to solve this? I solved it different. Now I will glue Rayman into the scenery and making just a gap, making some space between the feet and the body, for example. But I found a different solution way back then, many years ago. So watch the 1000 subscriber special and you'll find my Rayman, which I did probably 20 years ago. These are the iris of our Rayman. I try to be really careful that he's not cross-eyed. And then we have the hair, the yellow hair, and it's just like three of them. And the fists. This is the characteristic fist he is throwing at the enemies, and this is what we all love him for, the violence. And this is what Rayman is famous for, the violence, of course. This is one of the enemies, and we have them in two versions. We have the longer version ones, and we have also the shorter ones, where they have the head right over their eyes pulled, and let's just call them goblins. I'm not really sure what they are called. These are the feet. We have a very thin layer of black clay and some brown, and this is the head. Also with a very thin layer of black clay underneath, with a brown stripe right in front of it. And these are the eyes. Let's add some black clay to this, and maybe we make him a little bit shorter. Yes, looks so adorable. These are a bunch of poor lumps in their cage. At least this is the name I know them under. Lumps. Is it lumps? I think so. I am marking all the spaces where I put in the white tiny balls for the eyes, and we have the iris. We have some further bright silver, so I just used silver clay and threw in some white clay. And we have the locker, which is unfortunately still intact, but this is going to change in just a second when this is hit by Rayman's fist. And we have some more fists. These are just the hands from the poor lumps. And this is the piranha, which is flying its way up, coming out of the water, and with the intention to bite Rayman into his butt. And with his fins he is propelling himself upwards. We have the yellow teeth. This guy should brush his teeth more carefully. And then we have these elixir balls. Are they called elixir? I'm missing the word. And we are ready to go into the oven. Freshly baked! No, not yet. This is the background. I printed it out. Happily, I have a very huge printer in the studio for these beautiful backgrounds. All we have to do is remove all the different clay parts and reassemble it on the background. And this is what we're about to do. First, let's glue the background onto this piece of wood from the frame. So be careful with this. The frame still fitting. We start with the water part. I use the hot glue gun. The hot glue gun. Then we have different side parts as well from the Rayman level. We have this muddy part, then we are changing some mushrooms into toadstools, we take some cardboard, and this is just a placeholder. We will use it to glue it underneath, that it's all more stable, and some more dots. And we can glue this liana to the frame as well. Oh, it already looks so great. Can't wait to see the final result. Our goblin and the cage go right there. It's the exact same spot as in the very first level. Piranha in the water, and this is what I was looking forward to. We have a very thin wire and we stick it into these blue balls because in the game they are sparkling, and I came up with the idea to use a very thin wire for this. And now to our Rayman. Let's glue all the different body parts into the scenery. We have the shoes, the body, the hand holding the liana, and the swinging fist. How to get the swinging fist floating in the air? Well, let's first close the frame with the duct tape. Then we take this nail. Okay, using the super glue. And look at that! Look at that! Guys, I guess! That's it! The framed artwork from the very first! Piranha! No! Cage! Goblin! Rayman! I'm really happy with the end result. Please let me know what you think about the framed artwork from the very first Rayman. Write it down in the comments. Guys, stay safe, stay creative, and see you next week. Bye!